Yo, welcome back to Just Kicking It. My name is Soy. I'm with the homie
Polo Show.
and we are part of Lifted Ones Collective. But hey, before we go any further, y'all, we're gonna need you to hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Press the bell thing, like the video, drop a comment saying I'm dropping a comment. Literally just say anything. Just say whatever you want. I don't care. It really helps us out if you do that. It just gets us to a further state.
What's
and if
called
you're
the YouTube
on
algorithm. The YouTube algorithm is like, oh, this shit is fire. This is fire. So yeah, all those little things you do, the algorithm is just like, they finally have done something that's caught my attention. Like,
oh, they have a comment. But yeah, and if you're on like Apple Music, fucking give us 5 stars, leave a review, and in the review say I'm leaving a review. And then if you're on Spotify, follow, yada yada yada. And we also make music. We're artists first. Bleh. I have an album out right now called On the Search for More. It's more like a mixtape. It's called On the Search for More. You can just look that up and you'll find my name, Soy. Shosho, do you have anything you want to?
Yeah, my debut studio album is going to be on the way. It's titled Determination. Follow me on your preferred streaming platform, Polo Show. Please and thank you.
Word. All right. And with that being said, this is episode 36, and let's get into this. So we're going to start with global, as always. First bit of news, Bobby Shmurda. He is out of jail. And he got picked up by Quavo, and they got like on a private jet, and they're like whining and dining or whatever. They're just treating him right, making sure that he feels comfortable.
Yeah, like he had chains on, he had like cash, like he right out of the prison, man. He was already looking like a rapper.
Yeah, like he's on some rap shit.
Official. I'm like, we don't have to worry about him. He's got the chains on Instagram Live. He's like, good. I didn't have to go through no parole situation. Like, that's when they know you're gonna sell some records. But yeah.
What did you think about this?
I'm speculating that the reason why Quavo, of all people, picked him up because like they don't know each other. Quavo's from Atlanta, and like he's from New York, right? And I feel like the Migos popped after he got locked up. So there's really no connection between Quavo and dude to be, I'm the one picking it from prison. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it's a power play from QC, the record label, Quality Control. That currently has Migos signed. They're managing Cardi B. They got Lil Baby, the City Girls. They're probably like the hottest label in the game, in my opinion. People say TD and all these other guys, but no, I would say it's these guys. And yeah, this is a power play because if they have like Bobby Shmurda on that label, that's it. They definitely are the people are saying he's the king of New York. He just has to put out the right record. So yeah, I think that's what this is, and that would be a good look for the label if dude was on there. So I think that's why Quavo went to go pick him up, and that's where all of this ties in. I think we talked about this recently. Like they've been teasing it for a while. Like Bobby Shmurda is supposed to come home, but they didn't. Like at one point, like he had his parole hearing, but they just didn't let him. They said like, no, they don't think he's reconformed or whatever. So yeah, they decided to just keep him in jail. But yeah, he's finally free, and we knew like hip hop was gonna celebrate him because his story is basically the opposite of 6ix9ine story. It was literally I saw like Academics made a video when he got out, and just basically just saying what got him locked up, and it was like the song "Hot Nigga" for those who don't know, which was a fire song in 2015. It was like a viral rap song when it dropped. He had like the shmoney dance, all that shit. It was fire, man. But yeah, I think I even rapped on that beat. But yeah, that shit, that shit is fire. Still till this day, I went back and I listened to that record, and that shit is fire. But anyways, he dropped that. But in the song, he's saying all this shit like, "Yo, my homie, this person caught a body about a week ago." He's saying all this stuff, and even though that's not the real names of any of his homies, but it was what his gang was up to. You know, they were able to trace like, "Yo, this is what a lot of stuff you were saying is what your gang has been up to." And so they were able to, I think, charge him with conspiracy. And so he could have opted out if he was just like, "Oh, these are people." He could have just pointed out any of the people, right?
Yeah.
But I think in not doing that, he took on more time basically. And him and his homie Rowdy Rebel, both in the same situation, they both took on more time because they decided not to snitch. And so yeah, it's like a hip hop story. Hip hop's been like, he's been in prison for 6 years, but they've been rooting for him this whole time, right? And now he's out. And so the game is definitely going to show him love. He just has to put out the right records, I believe. And yeah, it's going to silence 6ix9ine. Because yeah, I see it as basically the opposite of 6ix9ine's story. 6ix9ine is I had a gang to help me on the come up. And then once we were in a situation, it's like, yeah, I'm snitching on all of you. I'm getting early parole. Like, and yeah, they showed no more. The fact that 6ix9ine, the same thing, they were both in the same like situation when COVID hit, and 6ix9ine was able to get like early release and house arrest because of COVID, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that was why Bobby Shmurda was up for parole because of that as well. And they were like, nah, he's not ready. And just proof that they're willing to let the snitch go, and they're gonna make this guy, because you don't want to snitch, we're gonna make you stay longer. But he's finally out, and so I feel like hip hop is gonna show him the love. And I feel like it's funny because we bring up 6ix9ine, who claims that he's the king of New York, right? And this is definitely, I'm curious to see how this is gonna play out now that, you know, people, the rap game would arguably say this dude is the king of New York. If he puts out the right record and he plays his cards right, like he's collaborating with all the right dudes in New York, people are saying that, yeah, he should get that title, you know? So I'm just curious. I mean, I don't know if anyone gives that title to 6ix9ine except himself, but I'm curious to see how he's gonna come out and say that. Because I think they even did a song together, like when he was in prison. Remember? Like,
really?
There's a 6ix9ine song with like Bobby Shmurda vocals on it from him being from prison. But anyways, I'm not around there. But yeah, I think hip hop is just excited to have Bobby Shmurda home.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'm sure he'll be fine, dude.
I just remember the energy.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, like they're probably setting him up for success. They've probably been making beats already, like before when they knew, they got word of him that he's going to get out. Like, I'm sure he'll put out.
He's so hopping on that drill wave. He's so hopping on that drill wave. That's what's happening. That's where I feel like people are saying that, yo, if he can get like a Pop Smoke posthumous feature, that's it.
That would be, I mean, that would probably make sense, but
it would be ideal, you know? It would be a drill track. It would be a New York legend that people already fucking love. They just passed. It would be like, dude is like passing the torch. It would literally feel like that on a record.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, man, I just feel like he's got everything going for him right now. This is like a hip hop story, you know, like, yo, it's like this, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you literally could have blown up in 2015 if you had just snitched and then played the 6ix9ine game. But now you did the 6 years, you came out, you know, now the whole game is rooting for you. All he's got to do is like, just play his cards right. Hopefully stay out of the street shit. Hopefully, and yeah, like just fucking kill the game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I look forward to seeing it. Cause yeah, Hot Nigga was some shit, bro. I remember that energy when that shit dropped. I remember everyone fucking with that shit. Everyone trying to learn that dance. Yeah. Dope shit.
Yeah. Hopefully everything works out, and like you said, hopefully he stays out of the street life and he puts that in his past. Speaking of that, for our next topic, we have, unfortunately, we have another story about Meek Mill. You guessed it, it's not positive. Yeah, it's a shame. So Meek Mill had something leak where he was basically in this verse he makes a reference to Kobe Bryant's death, where he says a bar, it's like a gun bar about like, I need a chopper like Kobe or something. I don't know. It was something that had to do with his death. It was just a bar.
Says I'm going out with my chopper. It'd be another Kobe.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that was the exact end of the bar.
Okay.
I'm going out with my chopper. It'd be another Kobe. So yeah, basically just saying like, if it was his last day, he's going out with his gun on him. Just like Kobe on his last day went out with a fucking helicopter. Which when you explain it, it doesn't make it's not fire, bro. Like it sounds just as disrespectful when you say it.
It's like you said the bar, I'm like, that's not so basically Vanessa Bryant, she responded and she wasn't too happy with it. She thought it was distasteful, disrespectful. And the issue with Meek Mill is he really does not know when to stop talking. He has this thing where he literally tweeted out that same, after she said something, like basically, I don't know the exact words. I should, but I don't.
He said like, I'm a savage, like fucking
feelings. Like fuck it. Yeah. And it's like, bro, like whoever is in charge of his like PR, whoever's in charge of that, like they're useless. They need to destroy his
speaking
phone.
like his A&R right now, like his manager, like look,
Dude,
Mr. Meal.
Yeah, Mr. Meek, enough is enough. Give me your phone. No, it's just like, it's embarrassing, man. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? He's talking about a chopper, bro. You literally just like had a whole come up about policing in America, and you know, like, and now you're going back. Like, it's just like you don't even know. It's really just like you're fake, and then he's like, he's trying to defend himself, being like, and here's the thing. I think if another rapper, it's just so it hits close to home because basketball and rap are very closely tied. And so when Kobe Bryant died, I think it affected a lot of people, not necessarily everyone, like, but like it was pretty impactful, and he was a pretty important figure, pretty inspiring guy. And it has only been like a year now, and it's just like, bro, what are you doing? I just see this and I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, Meek, what the hell, man? This is so many. He just takes L's. I don't think, when's the last time he took a W? I don't even remember. Champions, the album?
I think they said he was shooting a music video with Drake in the Bahamas recently, right? That would be a W.
I don't know why
that video comes out.
He doesn't need to do that. He's just giving him a softball. He's like, all right, here, take a hit. Like, just like
Drake might just message him like, yo, bro, you've been up to too much fuckery, bro. You don't put out that video. You don't fuck up my release.
He's just, I don't know, man. And it's just like, I don't know if he's being honest about this stuff. Like, anyways, what do you think, man? I know you weren't cool with it. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like it's been a year, man. It's literally just been a year. Like, I was gonna even just say earlier, like, yo, maybe if you just like, oh, you got that bar, just tuck it away. Maybe have a 5-year anniversary where it's like, okay, other people are making like passive, punchlines about Kobe's death, but it's still in respect. And then you can slide it in, you know what I mean? At least a couple years down, it wouldn't like Vanessa Bryant might say something, but it wouldn't be like, it's like literally when she said it, it's like she's pointing at you. No one else is doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I was gonna say like save for later, but at the bar, when I think about it, because that's when we explain what it is distasteful, man. We get it. It's rap. It's metaphors. It's there's a pun on the chopper. I get it. But I'm just like thinking like when I'm Meek Mill in the studio and I'm about to write that line down, and I'm like, man, I know the eyes I got on me. You know what I mean? Like, I know, you know what I mean? Like, do I need to write this bar down? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what You didn't. And so there's already the fuck up with that. And then there's the how he addressed it afterwards, the whole like fuck your feelings. It's like, yeah, we've talked about this before. It's like, yo, if there is like PR on his team, like someone who has a social media job, like that person needs to get fired. Like, because it seems like they just show up to work and Meek's like, oh, I got it today. I'm like, oh yeah, do you, Meek?
Yeah. Tweet whatever you want, bro. Fuck it.
Do it.
Dude, it's so frustrating. It's just so frustrating. But here's the thing, like, I'll just shoot him some bail because, like, some of my favorite rappers, bro, like Big Pun. I think it was a Big Pun song I heard recently where he's literally talking about it's disgusting, like syllable play, but he's talking about raping a chick, and so it's like I've known, and Biggie did that, M did that, you know, like there's a bunch of like cases where hip hop does have a lot of like. But I guess it wasn't tied to anyone specifically, and it was just
man. Yeah, man. This is
different.
This situation is mainly because literally this dude, like Kobe died like start of 2020, right? It literally is the anniversary of his death. You know what I mean? And bro is like, yo, I'm gonna put out this song with this bar. People are gonna fuck with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the voice of Meek Mill's head. Like there's something wrong if that is the case.
Yeah.
Like
he is yeah. He's in a good position though, to be honest. I think he's in a position where expectations for him right now are low as ever. And that's no disrespect. That's just facts right now. Yeah. And so he has an opportunity. He's at the underdog thing right now, which is very hip hop, where he could come back and really like get his spot back, because I think he is super talented, and I think he could. And I don't know, man. I don't want to see him go out like this, bro. It's just he's done a lot, and I feel like he is like a really, really great artist. He has a lot of great records. And he's very influential in certain circumstances. Like I know a lot of people that actually like love Meek Mill. Like in the South, people fuck with Meek Mill, bro. Like when I was living down there, and he was in rotation all the time. Not for me, but for like everyone I was chilling with. But I don't know, man. Like for me, I've been like, I guess I am a fan of the music. I do fuck with the tapes. And I know that he can still bring that back. But yeah, it looks like it's just a matter of someone needs to take his phone away from him, man. Just like, yo, just go to the studio. Like, he needs to delete Twitter.
You know, like,
yeah.
So
that's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Pray for Meek. The next topic we have, you're a little more familiar with this, so I'll just explain and then you can get into detail. Jay-Z partnered with Moet, buying 50% of his champagne. Is that what I'm?
Yeah, 50% share in his champagne brand.
Okay. What does that mean?
So yeah, they bought 50% share of his champagne brand. So he had this asset that was worth apparently I'm not even sure anymore. I think it was worth $500 million is what it was supposed to be worth. He said it in a verse, in the What's Free verse. My stake in this $500 million, right? Like, and so he sold 50% of that for a lot more than that. For a lot, I think they said 600 million. That's why I'm like, I think I'm mixing up numbers here. Did he have, I don't know if, so this, I just read a thing before I did this, but I don't know if he had 50% of Moet was his share in it, and he sold his share of it for 600 million.
Yeah.
Which was, and it was speculated to be worth 500 million, which means he made a lot more money. Or he owns all of Moet. I think that's the case. And so he still owns 50%. He just sold half of it. So he still owns 50%. Now he's sharing it with these guys. but he just became $600 million richer in cash because he sold shares. Either way, the bottom line is I saw Dr. Dre like say, yo, that's black excellence. He like had a bottle of it. Did you see that, the photo?
No.
It was just like shouting out Jay-Z on Instagram.
Pretty sick.
But yeah, I saw it's just a big move. He obviously sold it for more than it was worth. So just, money moves, this is what we expect from Jay. So yeah, nothing is really going to change, I don't think. Moet Hennessy is just, they're a huge brand, right? Like they're a huge, everyone, Hennessy is already like synonymous with the culture. So they're obviously really interested, and Jay-Z probably played the dance for a while and it sold. Yeah, so
definitely had a Hennessy phase. It was
you did?
I did, yeah. I was only drinking Hennessy, and I'm not gonna lie, Hennessy gets you pretty. I don't know what it is, but it turns you into something. I couldn't stop dancing.
I don't know what it is, but it.
Like I went to the Drake concert, and we were like getting super pumped because like Drake is definitely, he's one of my favorites, but in my top 5 rappers, right? So I'm like super excited to see this concert. And I went to my buddy Bryson's house, and we were playing Signs. You know that song where he's like, Sign of the Times? Where he's like, there's a line where he's like, can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So we started drinking Hennessy at like 11 a.m. By the time we got to the concert, we were all just destroyed.
I'd be tired, bro. If I was drinking from 11, I'd be like, fuck.
Dude.
By 7 p.m., I'd need to go to bed. I'd be like, yo.
We were turned. We got there and we were just jamming out to Drake. It was a really fun time. One of my favorite memories. But yeah, be careful with Hennessy, y'all. But congratulations to Jay-Z. That's very cool. He's just a business guy and he knows what he's doing, and he's a boss. He's just inspiring for everyone, to be honest. Like he's definitely probably he's in my top 5 as well. And he's I would love to hear some new music from him though, honestly. I would love not a 444, maybe just like something more like one of his older albums, like just some like really, really great music, fire samples. I'd love him to reconnect with Kanye. That's never going to happen, but
I think so.
Maybe, I don't know. He did just get divorced.
Word. I was going to say, so I'm reading a thing here and it says, so Moet Hennessy buys 50% stake in Jay-Z champagne brand. Moet is acquiring a 50% stake in a rapper and entrepreneur Jay-Z's champagne brand in an effort to up its cool factor and expand distribution. Terms of the deal, which was announced Monday, weren't released. So we actually don't know how much it's worth, but he obviously made money. And it's going to expand distribution because these guys have been in the business of, selling alcohol longer. And like that, and it's obviously a plan here. It's going to up its cool factor. So it's just part of the branding and marketing to make this announcement as well. Like, yo, Jay-Z's champagne is linking up with Hennessy, so it's all part of this, So not only did he make money from this deal, but he's going to be making more money in the long run from this deal.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Pretty sick.
It's always good to keep up with what this dude is doing.
All right. There's no transition for this, but our next topic is K. Michelle, R&B singer. Her butt. It definitely deflated on Instagram Live, which I didn't even know could happen. I just thought that was impossible.
Now you know.
Now I know. And I saw it, and it was kind of weird. There's a video if you guys want to check it out. It's on, you just look up K. Michelle's butt, and you'll probably be the first thing.
K. Michelle's butt deflates, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know how we're going to talk about this. What do you think, Shell?
I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, like I don't know, like what are your thoughts on this? Like having like this happening basically like on live. I guess because it happened on live, there's no walking away from it. You know, it's not like a video she posted and she's like, oh shit, I gotta take this down. Nope, there were X amount of viewers live, and you know, some people definitely screen recorded that shit. Like they're like,
Yeah.
So
there's about 4,000 takes. Yeah.
yeah. So you can't get it down.
There's no way to save.
I don't know, man. I really don't even know like what how we would bring this up. I guess it's just like being reasonable about the amount of fucking silicone you put in your ass as well. Like
come on, yeah. Like the fact that it deflated. Like what does that mean?
Like when it deflated, it looked like it was like it was a lot in there. You know, if you have so much in there that it can deflate, like you know what I mean. It's not even an implant anymore. Like
yeah, like, you have a balloon in an ass.
Yeah, like not like yeah. I don't know.
I think this is good time to say, you know what, ladies? Let's get a little crazy. Let's just say maybe you should just not get implants and grow old. I think age is beauty, and natural features are really, 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 really awesome. And there's nothing wrong with getting older. It's a natural part of life. You can't escape death. And that's facts. And I don't know. I think this should be a wake-up call for all these girls out here that are like, you know what? I want that ass. You know, like maybe think twice. Go to the gym, do some squats. You know, just work on it instead of just taking the easy way out, because you never know. It might deflate. And then you're on Instagram Live and your ass is just like a balloon, and it just like slowly like, how did it even get a hole? How did it deflate? She was twerking too hard. She was
twerking, man. It looked like she was twerking and she was not using good technique. So yeah.
So that's the key. So when you're twerking with butt implants, make sure you're using the correct technique. So like, I think it's the arch. I don't know. Just like be careful, ladies.
But yeah, I was gonna say, what is the bar that Kendrick had on Humble? Show me some natural like ass with some stretch marks.
Yeah, that shit is fire.
That's fire. That's exactly what we're encouraging here. So I guess there was a point of bringing this up, other than it was pretty funny. Like yeah, definitely reconsider. You know, if you're a female listening right now and you're like, yo, I need to go see Dr. Whatever to go get that look. Reconsider,
please. Because it looks crazy, bro. I'm seeing some of these asses out here and they're just like, these don't even look human. Like some of these like butts are just too brown, you know what I mean? Like it's like
I feel like, you know, on a side note, I think there's other ways to do it that aren't silicone. Like you can also like take fat from another part of your body and like put it in your ass apparently. Like, but on a side note, I just feel like there's a way to do it where it's like it's all right, but it's like it's to the extent where it gets like crazy. I mean, like where it looks like where the quads, like the thighs don't even match the ass anymore. You know what I mean? It just looks like it just looks like so yo, fill me up.
Take my side and put it in my ass.
It doesn't even look like I don't. Anyways, yeah.
People should be encouraged to just go to the gym and go do some squats, because that's like the best. Like, because then your hamstrings are also, you're saying, like your quads, your hamstrings are equivalent to your butt. And then
exactly,
it's also just good to go to the gym. It'll make you happier. You'll probably be less happy with ass implants because you know that shit ain't real. and it deflates. So now we know that it deflates. I didn't know that. I just thought the doctors were good enough that they made it so it's possible. But
I mean, like you saw what it looked like after it deflated. Like it was like a brick inside ass, right? So that lets you know how big the thing that they put inside was. You know what I mean? And that's really the issue here. It's not like sometimes like you've seen like when you, I'm sure you've seen like the ones that go inside like, for like a breast implant. Like it's like a small like silicone bag, right? And I would imagine it's just a little bit bigger, like if you wanted to get a butt lift. But like for what she had, like it literally like what she had could literally fit like 5 of those in a bag to put in one butt cheek. like so that's fucking crazy, bro. Like that's
so what does she have to do? Does she have to go get surgery now?
You gotta fucking call up your doctor, bro. You gotta be like
my ass.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a crazy thing to tell. Like, that's just like, what kind of reality are we living in? So I was twerking on Instagram Live and my butt deflated. What are we living in? What time? Like 2,000 years ago, they wouldn't have even guessed this. But yeah, dude, anything for the gram.
The plastic surgeon is like, oh, so you got a 213, just a regular day in the office.
Those guys are making bank.
Yo, we heard that one before. I actually was dealing with that earlier, man.
I've been Nicki Minaj a few times. I got the solution. So is there like a scar? Anyways, bro, yeah. So, K. Michelle, if you're listening, you're beautiful as you are.
Word.
And to the women listening, what makes you beautiful is your imperfections.
True. Big facts. Big facts, bro.
There's no, just be you. So for next, we have some trash news. Twitter, already just saying Twitter, I hate it. They now have a paywall. So basically, if you want to see someone's tweets, you gotta like, they're gonna have like, it's basically like a Patreon within Twitter. So like having, feeling, hey, if you want to pay like whatever amount, you can see these exclusive tweets or some news. And I guess, the thing is, it's like I can't really hate too much because it is optional. But the thing that worries me is the people that are willing to pay for a fucking tweet.
Bro, right now there's people paying for OnlyFans.
Oh, this is true.
But
so, that is content. At least you're getting something. It might be worth your time. It might be worth your money.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I feel like paying for OnlyFans is like, I don't know. That's like the height.
You keep that on the low.
like, yeah. It's like,
accountant's gonna look through. You have $400 worth of OnlyFans. What are you doing?
I gotta support my babies.
I'm a pimp. Is there any chance that you would ever pay for someone's tweets? Because tweets already are trash because it's like, it's people's thoughts and the thoughts are usually just garbage.
Probably not, man. Probably not.
Anything?
I'm not even on Twitter like that, man. Twitter is still not my app of choice. So like, for me to follow someone, and so that's what it is. They have like a super follow option now. I would literally need to follow you for a bit, and you would need to still share some fire stuff on your regular account for me to be like, all right, I'm gonna hit this guy with a super follow and pay X amount of money a month so I can get some more of these fire tweets. But even that sounds ridiculous.
That sounds terrible. Dude, Twitter's done. It's just too toxic, man. It's just like everything is so negative over there. I had to delete the app because I'm like people get their news from there, and it's like the news is so skewed from opinions from people that maybe shouldn't even have an opinion. But yeah, I guess everyone's entitled to their opinion, but sometimes it's just frustrating to read because it's like literally you're just saying something that someone else already said and you're just tweeting it, and you're saying, making it sound like you thought of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the tweets are so surface level, and people are all just philosophers on that bitch. But
So true.
they don't know.
But you said something before this. You're like, yo, the value of a tweet is so like worthless. Like that it's like, why would you pay for someone's tweets?
You should pay me to read your tweets. That's how ass they are.
But I don't know, man. Like if Einstein was a real person, or like Thomas Edison was a real person, like, I mean, they were real people. What am I saying?
Yeah,
I know this guys. But
if they were human,
if they were alive today and they had Twitter, and these are like geniuses, right? And they're tweeting like genius thoughts, and they decide, yo, my thoughts are too fucking fired just for regular Twitter. I'm only gonna make it available for my super follows.
you know what I'm saying? Let's say, fuck you, Einstein.
I don't know. I might be like, yo, I want to be thinking on that higher level, man. So maybe I will hit this dude with a super follow.
Man, if you are not thinking on a higher level if you hit anyone with a super follow. You've been played.
No, you're right though.
There is someone out there right now that saw this and are like, finally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's someone out there. There are people in this world that are gonna do this.
Bro, I told you I'm not gonna name drop
Do
this
it.
person, but nah, but I told you I know people, bro. I know people that are like, dude, they saw this feature and they're like, yo, this literally is gonna take my business.
Oh yeah. Well, that's this rare circumstance. But would that be like, that would make sense for like DMs. Like you have to pay to like DM someone. But no, I'm not paying. Dude, who is paying?
Anyone now, bro. Well, yeah, I guess I was gonna say yeah, but this is anything now. Like it might be like you might message someone on Twitter like asking them for a favor, and they might just be like, "Yo, I only give favors to my super followers."
Yeah.
So that's literally what it is. It's still the same situation.
My God. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whoever's out there. Oh man. You know, can we just speak on Clubhouse real quick? I want to just tell you about Clubhouse. So I got Clubhouse. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think Clubhouse is the most toxic app. And I'll tell you why. I only have one good example, but it was enough to make me be like, nah. It was just some like, I keep getting notified like, oh, these person are in a conversation. And then like the conversation itself was it was titled Social Media Marketing and Helping Growth. So I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I could use this information. Let me just go in this little chat. I don't know anyone in there. They're probably all influencers. I put in quotations because that means nothing to me, but it's just like means that you have a lot of followers, whatever. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me just see. Maybe there's some tips they're going to give. And I go in there and these people are talking about like diversity and like diversity hiring. And it's not the issue I have with that. I think that's a fine conversation to have. Talk about whatever you want. But if you're going to put a title about marketing and growth, and then I go in there and it's talking about that stuff, it's just like, what are we doing here? Because you go into any chat and it's like, it's just such, people are just interrupting people and it's like everyone's mad at each other and everyone just wants to be famous. And it's just like gross. It's really, I think there is probably positives to be had there. And I'm sure there's a lot of fun chats in there that are like worth, like when Royce, I saw videos of like Royce having conversations that I've never really thought about before. And I listened to the conversations. I disagreed a lot, but I was like, you know what? This is an interesting topic. Like I just got a notification. Rohan, Seth, and Paul Davison are talking about Clubhouse Town Hall. Like, what is that? But What is that?
What does it have to do with me? Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're gonna get, if you're a toxic person and you like to just like have a very frustrating life, I think Clubhouse is the app for you. I think you'll really find a lot of enjoyment. Some people just like this drama. I'm not a big fan of drama. People like drama. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Word.
I was at work. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I saw one of the early ones where they first started letting people into the app because it was mainly like exclusive for celebrities, right? So when they first started letting fans into the app, there was one where Tory Lanez was in, and it was like titled some really like neutral conversation title, and so they were having a conversation, and then like Tory's like speaking, and like this person like cuts in like when Tory's speaking, like, yo, Tory, why you shoot Megan? And then the whole room's like quiet. Just saw like the video of it, and like just the video ends with like. But
that's exactly what you're gonna get.
That's the kind of trolling that exists in there. Like, like of course,
it's gonna have a title of like something you think is like, oh, this could be valuable to me, and you get in there and it's like just some like really like negative stuff. And
academics welcome party, the exact opposite.
Yeah,
nobody entered there to welcome him.
It was just Meek Mill being like, I'm gonna kill you, but we need to talk about police brutality. Like what? Man, yeah, I'm not it's pretty bad. But yeah, man, some people really like drama. I always stay out of drama. I don't like drama.
On the positive side, like, yeah, some people like this toxic environment, you know, so
they do. If you're on that thing at all and you're in any chat and you're talking, you like drama. Because I haven't seen any circumstance where there's no drama involved in these chats. Like, people are like, there's these rappers that are talking, and it's like, bro, people are so full of themselves nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's like, everyone thinks that their voice matters, but it doesn't.
I mean, I feel like the marketing for the app was really what sold it, right? Like, the fact that you have to it's still the same way, right? You got to get an invite from someone to get into the app, right? So it's about that exclusiveness. You know, I'm only in here with the celebrities were in here first, you know what I mean? So it's that whole esque of it. And like you said, like everyone's just trying to get famous, you know, and that's like the, you know, I don't know. I can't bash it. I've not been in the app yet. And I definitely will check it out, but I feel like, I don't know, social media, man, like it's crazy, man, that there's a generation like after, like, I feel like we are the generation that I think we had Facebook when we were really young, and then we got Instagram like at the end of our high school type thing. But there's a generation where Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, everything, you know, like you have an account on these things when you're 13, like, you know what I mean? Like where you just grow up with this shit. Like they're about to reach a whole new level of like mental fucked upness, you know, like, for real, bro. Like Clubhouse, like all this shit, like it's messed up. When not all these fucking super follow features, like this is dangerous, bro. But I mean, it is what it is.
You know, these apps don't give a fuck. They just want the money.
They don't, man. Imagine being in high school right now, or being like in junior high.
Oh,
and like, you're like the really like super hot girl or really like popular dude, and you have like everyone in the school like super following you. You know how depressing is that for everyone else? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's like, why would you? That situation exists. You know what I mean? Like I can imagine that. Like that. Anyways.
Yeah. High school is already trash as it is. I can only imagine that.
Exactly. Like all these apps, you can just, after being bullied at home, you can just go to your house and there's a Clubhouse like chat room, like, yo.
Yeah, fuck Tim.
Making fun of him doesn't end.
Dude, I remember, bro, kids are so mean. I remember when we were younger, there was this chat forum on Facebook where people would literally be like, so-and-so, it was this girl, is a whore. And then like the whole chat was just about her being a whore. And like that fucked her up.
Fuck, man. Yeah, kids are mean though. Kids are mean. Definitely.
Kids are so mean. Yeah,
Definitely,
man.
for sure.
It was yeah. I remember they had to like, I don't remember what it was, but it was something on Facebook where people were just, it started out really fun, as most things do, where it was like, oh, like who's the funniest person in school? Something like that, whatever. And then it started being really negative, and it was like, who's the biggest whore? Or like who's it was always the same names, and I'm like, God, this is rough.
Always the same names.
Clearly it's her. No. But yeah, if there's any kids out there, you know what's crazy, man? If a girl dyes her hair blue, you can almost guarantee she's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's some things nowadays where it's just a guarantee
I don't know.
that.
But
I know a few chicks with blue hair that I'm like, damn, she's crazy.
Why no girls with blue hair?
I know a few.
I don't know, but I guess I'll keep an eye out for that now. Like,
Matt recently dyed his hair purple. Matt. You crazy. No, I'm just kidding. I love Matt. All right. On the next topic, we have something a little more positive. Eminem and 50 Cent, two hip-hop legends, two of the greatest. We have all their collabs ranked. I'll read the top 5 because there's I think there's 19, something like that. So in my opinion, they're definitely one of the best as far as collaborations go. They're kind of the same as it's you know how Drake and Wayne did their thing where anytime they did a song together, it was always just super fire. And still to this day, anytime they do records together, it's always just super, they just complement each other. It's kind of the same thing here where whenever they do songs together, they push each other's pens, and it's always just super great. I knew the first one was going to be Patiently Waiting. So number 1 is Patiently Waiting. That's definitely my favorite collab by them. The second one is Obi Trice, We All Die One Day. What album is this from? It was probably just a diss track. That's when they were just in hella beefs. Number 3 is Gatman and Robin off of The Massacre. Number 4 is Don't Push Me off of Get Rich. And then number 5 is Love Me, which is off, I think it's a track off of Encore, which is a really great song with Obi and 50. But yeah, we should just talk about them for a little bit. I think we're both pretty familiar with their catalogs.
Yeah, definitely Patiently Waiting I agree with number 1 as well. Yeah, I would agree with you, man. They definitely have that chemistry. Definitely growing up, I was a huge Eminem fan, and that just got me into 50 Cent, and I was a huge 50 Cent fan. And so, yeah, sure, everyone, it was a moment for hip hop whenever they would collaborate. So yeah. What's the beef one? Which one was that?
I think it was off Obi's album. I just read a little. I don't actually remember the song for some reason, but it's number 2. So, but Obi Trice and it's Obi Trice, Lloyd Banks, Eminem, and 50 Cent, which is a pretty nasty collab. But yeah, so I think it was a natural conclusion to many of M and 50's previous warnings. After all, they did caution against pushing them too far. So it's probably a bunch of militant bars where they're hey, we will destroy you, which is facts. They were on a run where if you beefed with them at this time, it was 2003, 2004, you're gonna lose your career because they were just like number one. Like Shady Records was the biggest record label. I remember them running the game. This was M on drugs, so Prime Eminem, and then Prime 50 Cent, Prime Obi Trice, G Unit was popping. Like it was a really crazy time. And I don't remember that time because I was really young, but I just had those albums, and like, I'm sure you did this as well. I was like I used to watch interviews. I was obsessed with like just hip hop when I was younger. So I was like watching like everything. So I got up to date with like everything that happened previously. And that time in hip hop was a lot of fun because it was just like everything was bar heavy. The beats were crazy. Yeah, I love their collabs, and I don't think I can name a bad, even the ones that are like the number 19, the last song was My Life with 50 Cent, Eminem, and Adam Levine. Even that is not even like that. I actually like that song. Like, it's definitely not their best, but it's not even a bad song. So they have a track record of always putting out fire with each other, and I do miss their collaborations. I wish they would collab more. I would like a fucking full album. I know 50 Cent has been pushing that for years, like a full album with just him and M. I think that would be sick. Just because we have all the proof that they would make a great, even like a 7-track album of them just spitting to like great beats and like maybe some old school boom bap would be really great. I would love that.
Word. It's probably in the tuck.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's about it. Like, I definitely saw that list. I know, like, I just checked out like same thing. I checked out like the last 5, and I was like, yeah, it's a pretty accurate list. Yeah, same. I feel the same way. Like, we know that whenever they get together, it's magic, you know. Yeah, and it's a moment for hip hop.
Word. Hopefully we get to hear more from them collab wise. Oh, I just read something where Eminem, Conway, and The Alchemist are working on a project together.
What?
Yeah.
That would be fire.
Dude.
That would be fire.
Alchemist production with those grimy beats, M and Conway going back and forth. That's a look.
I don't know how that would sound though, but yeah. Yeah, exactly. That would be a look for. They don't need to do that anyways because like maybe M is just like doing him a favor at this point, like because right they dropped him right from Shady Records.
No, they didn't drop him.
He asked to get dropped. Him and well, actually his album is about to come out right on Shady Records, and then that's
which will be fun.
But West Side Gun is no longer there.
Well, I watched an interview with Conway recently where he was talking about that, and I think he feels differently than he probably is enjoying his time at Shady. To be honest, I know more Conway because he was on Shady. Because anytime Shady has like a new artist, I'm always going to listen to them because I always know they're going to be spitters and they're going to be sick. And so having that stamp, people always shit on them because like they're not very good at marketing their artists. But when they do get artists, and I think we've talked about this, they're always sick. Every time they've ever had an artist on Shady, they're always really great. But I think Conway is I think he is enjoying his time a little more because he was very hesitant to like, he was on the Joe Budden podcast and he was talking and like they were trying to make him shit on Shady. And he's like, like I'm still cool with all those guys there. Like shout out to M, shout out to Paul. So he knows that he can probably still work with them. And to me right now, I think Conway is probably in the game right now, probably my favorite lyricist. So to hear a project from those two would be really sweet. I would really enjoy that. Just even Alchemist too. Alchemist is such a good. He's got a Grammy nom for Alfredo, but very well deserved. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been doing really well, and he put out a really great album with Conway recently. So
word true.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just excited for that. I'm excited for new Conway. Yeah. So on our last bit of news here, Al Chapo's wife has a mugshot out, and I don't really know what we're supposed to say about this, but it happened, and
I don't know. I guess we just saw it. Like, I don't know. What do you think? What's your first impression of seeing El Chapo's wife's mugshot?
she looks loyal. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I don't know. I think Young Thug posted on his story or on his profile pic is, you know, Young Thug is weird as hell. He's posted a pic of his profile picture is Al Chapo's wife's mugshot for some reason. And then his bio just says sex. Like, this guy is crazy. But, yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't know. If Young Thug goes missing over the next couple of days, though, we'll know what happened.
Yeah.
Bro,
Now we have
never forget that El Chapo escaped from a maximum security prison via a tunnel that was dug, lit the whole way through with a motorcycle waiting for him at the end. That's how resourceful the cartel is.
That's pretty sick.
You know, like, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I think I saw now like they're trying to give her. She's facing up to 40 years for whatever reason. And if she can give information on the cartel, like they'll give her like immunity and a new life or whatever.
She ain't.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. That's exactly the. She looks like. She's not.
She's a down bitch.
Yeah, she looks like committed to this life. Like, this is. When she was 16, she always dreamed of being a cartel wife.
Oh no, I don't know what El Chapo is.
That's really fucked up to say though. But I don't know her story, but
man, she's in the cartel. People died.
It does look like she's really down. It does, yeah. She's not gonna be saying shit. Is a takeaway from that. But yeah, man. I think El Chapo is still at large right now, man. They try to lock him up like multiple times, and he keeps breaking out.
He's alive?
El Chapo, yeah, bro. Let me confirm this.
Is he alive? I don't know.
Yeah, he's alive, man. He's been alive. He's still running shit, man, wherever he is.
Damn,
I think he's in prison right now.
I would assume so.
You would think so, but they've broken him out multiple times. So as of February 2020, El Chapo is now an inmate of United States Penitentiary Administrative Maximum Facility in Florida, Colorado. The prison is considered to be the most difficult in the U.S. to escape from, as cells are fully made from cement, and it has a higher level of security than a maximum security facility. So if he breaks out of this one, then they know, like, they know.
Yeah, just let him run. No, I'm just
Like, they were like,
we tried.
Is there any point catching him now? Like,
maybe they'll hold his wife for like ransom or something. This is crazy. It's like we're living in a movie. That's fucking crazy. I didn't know he was alive, dude.
Of course, bro. There's always gonna be someone running the show, bro. Like, there's always gonna, like, fucking cooking doesn't stop. I remember fucking. I remember Jim Jones had a bar, man. On
His whole album's called El Chapo, isn't it?
Yeah, right. The one that had Benny on it. That's the one
Great
that you shared with me. The what?
Yeah.
The first Benny verse I ever heard. But
that's such a good album. Damn.
On the record with on Rick Ross, he says, even if they built a wall, the coke could still fall from the sky. Yeah. I thought that was powerful, man. I was like, bro, like, that's just proof. Like, that's just the power of the. It doesn't stop. You know what I mean? Like, it does.
The power of the cocaine. Dude, in another life, I would be that.
Man, it's not an easy job, bro.
I don't think it is.
All the time. There's always
to be
something
able
else.
to escape prison.
Did you ever watch Narcos, bro?
No, well, my girl back in the day, she was super into it. But she used to watch it with like, man, I was such a simp. I don't even want to say. Anyways, no.
All right. But yeah, I definitely watched all of Narcos with some flames. I tried to get into Narcos Mexico, but wasn't as
I heard it
fire.
wasn't as good.
Yeah, so I just couldn't keep it. Narcos is definitely fire because it was like I feel like Narcos Mexico they just started like dramatizing everything. Narcos was fire because it's literally the true story. They tried to document it as best as they could of Pablo Escobar. So it's like real fucking shit that went down.
Yeah.
Basically, when Pablo finally got killed after he had no more resources and they had tracked him down, they found like the other cartel, like I think it was the Medellin cartel, which is like the brothers. They found his wife and his children, and literally they were like, I think actually the wife and children came to them and were like, yo, Pablo said that if he was to die, we should come here because you guys are men of honor and you would fly us out and blah, blah, blah. And just basically they were like, all right, we will do that for you, obviously, because they could just kill Pablo's wife, which would be the same thing to do. But they're like, I would do that. But you have to like give us all of Pablo's land, like everything. So they had to like basically give any kind of power they could have had in Colombia. And they're like, you can never come back to Colombia. But basically, just the whole purpose of me saying this is that the drug shit doesn't end, man. There's always going to be some new, powerful, greedy fuckers that are ready. Like the whole time while Pablo was alive, it was a power struggle between them. He just had like the upper hand. And so immediately, like he died, they were like, yo, we're coming. And this guy, I think he had his own like cartel. Like he worked his way, El Chapo, he worked his way from the Mexican cartel. And same thing, like he just worked his way up to the power. But yeah, there's always going to be some fucker, some greedy fucker that's down to fucking do the job because it's like $1 billion job if you do it. Like, do it properly. But yeah, I don't know, man. I find it's so interesting, man. Like it definitely is like it's fucking dope that they can elaborately like get him out of prison like that. You know what I mean? With the fucking motorcycle waiting and shit.
Yeah.
It just shows the power of the fucking drugs, bro. But
even though he's a terrible person, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
it is. It's pretty. You can't. That's the thing, man. I think when did the first Narcos come out? I was pretty young. Or was I?
It was like 2016, 2017, something like that.
Yeah, it's like a couple years ago. I definitely was fucking with it heavily when it came out. I always knew who Pablo Escobar was, but definitely seeing it and watching it on the big screen kind of made me like, I wouldn't say idolize it, but like I was like, yo, that's some boss shit, like fucking Pablo was that dude, like
You just grow a mustache.
I just,
Start
you know what I mean?
drugs.
I definitely fucked with it when I saw it, but obviously the more you watch the shit, the more it's like, and that's if all you know is that he made billions of dollars, drug trafficking. Then it's like, oh shit, that's pretty boss. But like when you know the full story, like many people died, bro. Many people.
It's fucked.
Many people died. He was a straight up murderer. Like yeah, many. There was
He's a piece of garbage.
Where he was like, he had told like maybe like a niece of his had a boyfriend or something
That was a mistake.
that was like, yeah, that came like maybe some like white guy too, like just just came like
Just doing his whole thing, his whole plight.
just trying to marry this beautiful Colombian chick, didn't know her uncle was Pablo Escobar. And yeah, he asked him to do him this favor. Basically the favor is that he has to get on this plane with this package. Basically the thing was a bomb. He literally told the guy to go blow up a plane. Yeah, man, this was a real life thing, man. Like this really happened.
He told the white dude that?
I'm pretty sure, man. This happened.
Yeah.
So look it up, man. A lot of fucked up shit happened. He blew up airports, really yeah, man. Really fucked up.
I don't know if
shit.
a girl's worth it like that. I don't know if I'm willing to blow up a plane for some ass.
No, I don't even think. I think that's. I think it was I don't even know if this was This was in Narcos. I think I watched a movie about Pablo Escobar, and this was what the movie was about. I'll have to confirm this, but this is basically the basis of the movie. It was a white, like a guy, they called him Gringo. He was just trying to marry this beautiful Colombian chick, you know, but her fucking uncle is Pablo Escobar, and like he was just like,
It's unfortunate.
basically like he obviously had this like power, you know, grip over him, where like I started to know like, yo, this guy's dangerous, and like I did not have to do whatever he says. And so when he was like, you need to do me this favor, or you're gonna take this package onto this plane for me, you can't open the package. You know, he was even crying because I guess he knew what it was. But yeah, like that's literally what he willingly had to get on that plane with that. I don't know, man. Like it was fucked up. But yeah, man, Pablo killed a lot of people, bro. Like a lot of people died. It's pretty. So I guess it's a two sides of it. You know, we sometimes if you just see the glamour of it, it's like Scarface. You just see the glamour of it. We just see the, you know, oh, he can escape from prison. There's a motorcycle waiting. You know, we see like all the luxury that they can afford, but then there's the really harsh side of it, which is like to accumulate that much power, to have that much people silenced all the way up there. The policy with Pablo was either you accept my bribery or we're going to kill you. You know, like that's literally it. So you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
So at least if you accept it, you know you leave a little bit richer, so you can feel a little bit better about your decision. But that's literally the game.
But don't you kill people?
Huh?
Wouldn't you kill people in the process?
What do you mean?
Because it's a bomb, right?
Oh no. Yeah, no. That guy didn't have a choice. That I think he was also just trying to get rid of that fucking the gringo that was trying to marry his niece. Like I think that's what that was. Like that was, but for the most part, he just killed a lot of people. Because
that'd be such a crazy story.
I gotta look it up, man, because I think that was the fucking thing.
Imagine just going to Colombia for vacation and then you meet this girl and you're like, yo, I'm falling in love with this girl. Mom, I think I found the one. Mom, I think I'm gonna marry this girl. And then you find out her uncle is Pablo Escobar. And you're like, Mom, help.
Obviously, there's no like
that kind of drug trade.
That can't happen today where you call your mom before you've done like a social media scan of the chick. You know what I mean? Like if you meet a girl and you hopefully get the last name, you're going to do a full like, yo, let me find out what I need to know. You know what I mean? Like it has to be on there. So yeah, New York Times, drug trafficker convicted of bombing jetliner. I'm gonna have to look for it, bro, but that bomb was a work of art. Pablo Escobar's top hitman tells how he blew up an airliner, killing 110 people after dumping young man into after duping young man into detonating bomb on board. So yeah, that did happen. So
pretty messed up.
Killed 110 people. Yeah. So it was a movie. I remember. I can't even remember the fucking dude that played the guy. I just can't remember the name. But yeah, it was definitely a true story, man. Like it was so fucked up because it was like it almost seemed. It started out like he was taking him under his wing, like, yo, let me show you my business, you know. But it was slowly became about like he's really trying to not let you spend any time with his daughter. That's why he keeps like bringing you around him. And then when this opportunity came up where he's trying to blow up a plane, he's like, oh, I fucking got the right idiot for like the job. Like,
Jesus.
Yeah, fuck. We can keep talking about this shit, but yeah, fucked up situation.
Anyways, yeah, so that's it for global. So on to our national news.
Yeah, so Johnson & Johnson now has a vaccine. I don't know if you saw that. It's actually in the US, the FDA approved Johnson & Johnson's vaccine. So the difference between their vaccine is now it's actually a one-shot vaccine. And you can actually store this vaccine at like refrigeration temperature.
Okay.
Like all the other vaccines, you have to have some weird, like, you have to be at some weird, one has to be like absolute zero or some shit like that. And the other ones, I think Moderna and Pfizer, you have to take 2 shots, I think. So that's what's unique about this is it's going to be 1 shot, and you can store it at regular refrigeration level. So obviously the logistics of being able to mass produce this and get this out quickly, because it's just a 1-shot one, is pretty powerful if we can make that happen. Yeah, and I think Biden was saying like as soon as fast as Johnson & Johnson can package and move them out, as fast as they're going to start administering them. So what do you think about this, man? Are you going to take a Johnson & Johnson shot?
Probably, dude. I'm just trying to get this vaccine, bro. I don't care who it is. Johnson. Give me the vaccine.
You got the vaccine?
No, fuck this, man. I'm trying to take this mask off. I'm trying to go to a show. I'm trying to perform. I don't give a fuck. They're like, it's going to give you... there shouldn't be side effects, I don't think. Like, as far as I know, everyone that's gotten it, I think a few people have died from it. I've seen cases where people died. Yep. And so that's a little worrisome. And I don't know why they'd make a vaccine where you can actually die. Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I'll probably take it. Like, we're healthy, bro. Like, that's the thing. Like, we're young and like we're in our 20s. Like, we have a very, very, very low chance of actually passing away from this thing. It's like, what is it? Like 99.6% death rate. Which in the grand total of like a lot of people have actually died. And it's like, if you put those number of bodies in a field, it'd be fucking horrible to see. It's just hard to grasp because we just haven't seen death like this in a long time. Like 500,000 people is a lot of people. And it's really unfortunate. But anything to speed up the process of getting to things into some sort of normality. The thing that will bother me is if we do end up, everyone gets the vaccine, whatever, and they're still having restrictions on shit. That is when I'll be a little worrisome of being like, okay, now at this point, it's like, what are we trying to protect ourselves from?
I think we have to reach a certain number of vaccines, right? Like, for it to make sense for everyone to not have their masks on. I think ideally 100% of the population vaccinated and then mask off. But I think what they're saying is like at like a third of the percentage or like maybe half, something like that, we would have reached like herd immunity. Like the rest of the people won't need to be vaccinated because enough people are vaccinated type thing.
Right.
You're saying.
And I feel like, I honestly do feel like that should be a choice of people being like, hey, I don't want to get the vaccine. I don't think I need it. And it's like, and then like, it should be, don't you think at some point it should just be like, okay, well, because if we get the vaccine, it's like, I'm literally getting it so that I can perform. That's why I'm getting it, so I can go out and perform. And because if there is, I just don't know if there should be restrictions on people who are like, hey, you can't come in this bar if you haven't got the vaccine. It's like, you know what? If you want to get COVID at this point, like it should be like, all right, yeah, fuck it, play your cards, bro. Like,
I don't know.
I just don't like this whole just being in this state of like I took an Uber the other day and I had my mask off for like 2 seconds. I was like, because I have to like show my face to unlock my phone. He's like, please put your mask back on. I'm like, bro, calm down. Like, I have no, like, chill. Like, I don't know. It's getting kind of out of hand for me. I'm just sick of it. I'm seeing protests in the city right now. I saw like this protest of people and I read this sign. It was like, the COVID-19 is isolating you. You are. I'm like, well, no, that's not true. It is COVID-19 that's like, I don't know. People are on this wave of like, they're on this wave of just like conspiracy. And it's like, if you go too far down that rabbit hole, you'll go crazy. And it's like, it'd be nice to have this whole overarching theme of like, oh my God, the government, they're in control and they're trying to destroy everything and they're trying to make everyone a puppet. And then you think about it, it's like, well, no, the government is fucking stupid. And like most of these politicians that we're seeing are like really dumb and they're actually just making really poor judgment calls. And that's just like, they're just stupid people sometimes. And these people are in positions of power where they can make these things happen. So it's like, I think people are giving these governments too much credit. I just don't think they're that wise. I don't think there's an overarching conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's too much.
Yeah, man. I think it's become normal now. Like, I remember there was like recently, like we talked about it. There was like literally one dude when there was a protest going on, like for Black Lives Matter or something. There was one dude who came to like protest against it. He was wearing a Trump shirt in Calgary. You remember this?
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
No? Yeah,
No, I
we'll
saw
talk about it. Yeah, but I don't know, man. And I don't want to blame Trump, but I brought that up because I think Trump has made it normal now to, you know, just to say a fucking blatant lie and then stand behind it and, you know, and not back down. You know what I mean? Like that's now become normal. That's what all these fucking anti-mask protests are. That's what all this shit is. That's what the insurrection was. It's like, yo, we know we're wrong, but we are right, and we're not gonna stop until you tell us we're right.
They thought they were right, bro. They did.
That's the mentality.
But it is, you know, if you want to live that way, you know, like people are allowed to do stupid things, and it's like people are being led in. It's sad to see, but it's just like, man, like, I don't know. It doesn't bother me as much because it's like, I sort of feel that way as well sometimes where I'm like, I am tired of like just having this, this control over my life. Like, I don't like that. I want the freedom back. And I understand, bro. And I can sympathize with people that go and protest because it's like, at the end of the day, what they're protesting is like they want their freedoms back. And then like some people are going to be like, well, you know what? Like, you're not even that oppressed. But it's like, I can see where they're coming from as far as like, okay, well, what happens if we're still living this way in like 10 years? You know what I'm saying? Then like we're all just sheep and like, I mean, that'll just be the norm. I mean, what the hell are we going to do? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Very unlikely, man. Definitely
I agree.
It should be over by the end of the year. Yeah. But I was seeing like Dr. Fauci, who was like that
fucking guy,
presidential doctor, whatever. He was saying like,
what does he do?
Even though we could have herd immunity by April, we could still expect to be wearing masks by winter of 2022. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah. Like, even though we all won't get it, like.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. So, but that's the U.S. I think the U.S.'s situation is just like, fuck.
They're just in a fucked up place right now, man. There's not even a United States.
I think where
we're
two
different places.
Yeah, exactly. I think where we're at is like in Canada, we are probably good and on track to be back to masks off for September. And this all like Johnson & Johnson having a new vaccine is dope news because prior to this vaccine, all the plans were made with just the vaccines that existed, right? So now whenever someone else pops up and say, yo, we got a vaccine, it's FDA approved, this shit is good to go. All you gotta do is make stock and we're gonna start shooting that shit out, you know, and you're just gonna help get us or go faster. So yeah. I look forward to this. I really don't know what the fuck is going on in the US, but I think as far as it goes in Canada, we should be back to mask off by the end of the year. I definitely am going to take a vaccine for sure. I also saw Fauci say like he doesn't like his quote was like I wouldn't, it doesn't matter what vaccine I take, I would take whatever vaccine is available. And so I kind of agree with that. Like just fucking get a vaccine. So that's how I feel like. So whenever it's available to me, I'm gonna take it. Fuck it.
I've already taken so many, man. We all took them when we were kids. What's the difference? And thank God there's a vaccine. Honestly, people are like freaking out.
They cooked this up really quickly.
Yeah.
That's the main difference. The difference is they cooked this up really quickly. That's the main difference. Every vaccine you've had when you were a child probably existed for years. You know what I mean? Like they had time. Yeah. You know, there are people who they shot with that vaccine and lived to old age and died. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This vaccine, this virus just hit us like less than a year ago. we had to concoct a vaccine within less than a year. Just even, I'm sure like FDA has to like, like whatever their requirements are for approving medication, they have to like streamline it or remove some shit. You know what I mean? Just to make it, you know what I mean? They have to have done some stuff to maneuver to get us this stuff faster, So I think we're going to pay for that in some shape or way. You're saying that some people are dying already from taking the vaccine. So I think that's what that is. Like if these same scientists that created this vaccine had, I don't know, 5 to 10 years to perfect the vaccine, I'm sure like the version we would get from that would be very different from the version we're getting right now. We're just settling. We're just like, yo, it's good. FDA has approved it. Let's fucking go. And so we're just hoping, it's going to be a numbers game. We're 5 years from now, we're going to be like, all right, it looks like 85% of the population that took that vaccine is doing well, or the fucking 75, the ones that took that one, damn, you know what I mean? So
damn,
that's not the case. But like,
dude, yeah, that'd be crazy if there was like more deaths from the vaccines. Like, that'd be terrible. But no, I don't think that'll be the case. I don't know why they made a vaccine that's like 99.7% works. Like, bro, just make it 100. What the fuck? What are you guys doing?
But that's what. But this is exactly the situation, though. If I'm outside your laboratory dying from this fucking virus, and I just need the vaccine, and you come out and you're like, yo, 99.7, bro. I need to get back inside for another. Bro, shoot me with that shit.
Put it in my arm. Fuck. Yeah.
99.7, bro. We're so close. Give me another 3 days.
I don't have 3 days. Foam out the mouth.
So I think that's why, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it could be fucking, if they gave it 15 years, like a good amount of time.
That's so much time, bro. Fuck out of here.
I don't know what it is. So maybe 5 years is a scientific time for a virus. If they gave it 5 years, then it would be 105%. But I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyways, we are assuming that our 99.7% vaccines are 100% effective, and I'm happy with that assumption. So yeah, I will be taking this Johnson & Johnson vaccine if it is available in Canada. I'll be taking whatever vaccine is available, so we can get the ball rolling with Destiny. So yeah, that concludes our national. On to our local.
Okay. For local news, we're just going to talk about like appreciating the moment. So I wanted to bring this up because it's kind of been a theme for me this week, where I was just thinking about like, I've been writing a lot of songs recently about like my time in Arkansas. And I just realized like, I really didn't appreciate it when I was there. And I'm writing about it. And I have this like, I just have all these crazy, incredible memories of just the adventure that I was on. Like, it was so new and like everything was so different. It was like a culture shock of the Southern lifestyle. And I just wanted to bring it up and just encourage people, just like the moment that you're in right now, like there is no other time but now. And like, it's really corny to say, but it's the truth. And it's like, there's so many things, like I was even talking to you about the show, like there's going to be a time in our lives where we're both reminiscing on exactly what we're doing right now, And sorry, dude. Fuck. Yeah, we're going to be reminiscing on a time like this. And yeah, I don't know. So that's really all I wanted to say. I just wanted to like say that and be like, damn. I don't know if you've ever had experience that where you're like, especially being an artist, like it's like you write about these times and you just really appreciate like the. And yeah, sorry.
No, I definitely feel you. I've definitely been on a kick lately, is where I've just been like, I'm just appreciative of where I am in my music career, as opposed to why am I not where I want to be yet. I'm just acknowledging that. More so, I guess we had a conversation recently as well, where I just realized that where it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's a journey, and it's about appreciating every step along the way. Because I just feel like if I have the opposite mindset of why isn't it happening yet, I need to be doing stuff to make it happen tomorrow, that's how you're going to quit, because it's like you're never going to get what you want. But if you accept that you're on a journey, you just need to appreciate the moments. Like, the moment it happens, you're just like, oh shit, it's happened. I'm still
Right.
wild out. I'm still fucking go crazy. But appreciating all the moments, right? I definitely feel that, I definitely was like, that's definitely a corny topic. But I feel you though. I feel you.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
Word. On to our artist motivation. Today we're reading out of the Master Key System. I think we read out of this one before. All right, man. I'm gonna read this one to you. It's pretty I'm gonna read the whole paragraph. I only highlighted a little bit of stuff in the paragraph. You can see. But
Damn. Okay.
Well, I'll read the whole thing. The ability of the individual to think is his ability to act on the universal and bring it into manifestation. Human consciousness consists only in the ability of man to think. Mind in itself is believed to be a subtle form of static energy, from which arises the activities called thought, which is the dynamic phase of mind. Mind is static energy, thought is dynamic energy, the two phases of the same thing. Thought is therefore the vibratory force formed by converting static mind into dynamic mind. So, how do you feel about that, man?
What does that mean?
I'll read it again, bro. I'll read from this line. Human consciousness consists only in the ability of mind to think. Mind in itself is believed to be a subtle form of static energy, from which arises the activities called thought, which is the dynamic phase of mind. Mind is static energy, thought is dynamic energy, the two phases of the same thing. Thought is therefore the vibratory force formed by converting static mind into dynamic mind. I don't know, man. I just I actually heard this audiobook first. I found it on YouTube. And so I got the audiobook on Audible and I listened to it. And the writing was just so very philosophical that I just had to read it. And in reading it, it's making a lot more sense to me than what I heard. But basically, I think what this is saying, and I don't even know, this would have to be a fact. Human consciousness consists only in the ability of man to think. And all that's saying is that this conversation that we're having right now is because you have the independent ability to think and I have the independent ability to think. If you were brain dead, we wouldn't be able to have this conversation or vice versa. Mind, so what we call the mind in itself is believed to be a subtle form of static energy. I'm not talking about the brain, I'm talking about the mind.
Okay.
From which arises the activity called thought, which is the dynamic face of mind. So what this is suggesting is that the mind is is what we call the mind is a static energy, and thought is just the dynamic phase of the mind. When we begin thinking, we're just using our minds in a dynamic way. And in the end, thought is therefore the vibratory force formed by converting static mind into dynamic mind. I could explain that, but I think it's just for you to think about, you know what I mean? That's why I read this. It's so I can think, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's some really deep thoughts in here. I'll read another one in here. This is just further down the line. Every thought, therefore, is a cause, and every condition an effect. For this reason, it is an absolutely essential that you control your thoughts so as to bring forth only desirable conditions. And so, I guess it all ties in. Is the whole purpose of the first part of that was to bring aware to you what your mind is, you know, like what is when I say, like, can you even describe what a mind is? You can describe what a brain is, but a mind is like an abstract concept that we associate with the brain. And what it's saying is that mind, that power, that is an energy, it's a real thing, that when you're thinking, you are actually doing, there's a scientific process as to what your mind is doing. And it all just comes back to cause and effect. Basically, it's saying that dynamic thinking that you're doing can bring about the conditions that you want if you just think about the right things. So it just comes down to controlling your mind and thinking about the right things. But yeah, this whole book, The Master Key System, is just about the power of the mind, really, and just how there is a direct system to controlling our minds and getting about the things we want in life.
Yeah.
Very good book. Interestingly enough, I think this, it's not written on here. Let me find it. But the author of Think and Grow Rich, which is a very great book of mine, actually read this book and wrote to the author saying that the contents of your book actually is inspired the writing of my book, Think and Grow Rich. And you can find that letter online. It's a real thing.
It's cool.
So yeah, I feel like I went all out with this one. Whenever I read from this book, I like to, I just read to, like, I don't even read like more than a paragraph at a time because I barely read. I mean, that sounds bad, but like, I just read. I'll just read like a couple of stuff, and then whenever I see some shit that's fire, I'll like highlight it, and then I'll really like meditate on it. I'll really like, yo, that was some really dope shit. So yeah, this is one of those things that I meditated on because it's a really profound thought, you know, that just by thinking you can control your circumstances. Yeah. That concludes our fucking podcast. That's episode 36. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening all the way through. If you are watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, like, leave a thoughtful comment or an unthoughtful comment, whatever you prefer. We're both artists. Follow us on social media. My social media handle is Poliano_DA_Don. And Soy?
I'm at The Only True Soy.
Dope. Follow our Lifted Ones page, our music collective. That's Lifted_Ones. Follow the official blog. That's YYC Hip Hop Daily. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in again. This was episode 36. Peace.
Peace.